You know, Clark Kent is probably one of the worst journalists ever. He didn't even know who Bruce Wayne was.
Yeah, and f*** Martha.
Because it's time for CJDJ's Movie Power Hour. All right. This is CJ and DJ's Movie Power Hour, your one-stop shop for trailer breakdowns, movie reviews, and some fun with some games, all while playing a Power Hour. My name is CJ. I am your host, and to my left, we got the co-host with the mo-host, DJ.
What's up, everybody?
And over in the engineering booth, we have someone new there. He is 1/3 of the infamous trio of Pop Not Soda podcast. It's Brett Neas.
What is up, everybody?
Awesome. Hey, how are you doing, Brett?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Dude, I'm super glad. Now, where is Matt? Did he just leave?
You know, I think he's
Oh, Jesus.
slamming
geez,
beers
he's already
behind me
drunk.
right now. He is slamming beers.
He's already drunk.
We're replacing him.
Oh, God, he's already drunk. Well, guys, don't worry. Matt Man's still going to be around for the P Breaker apps like he always is. But I want to formally welcome Brett Neas into this. Like I said, he's 1/3 of the infamous trio of podcasters of pop culture podcasting, right?
Yep.
Called Pop Not Soda.
Pop Not Soda. So you guys can check our weekly episodes out. We release every Monday on Podbean and iTunes. Pop_Not Soda. Your weekly 6-pack of pop culture.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. So throughout this episode, we're actually going to be throwing it to Brett. He's going to give some of his opinions as well while we're talking about it. Now, Deej, I just want to say something real quick before we get into all this because, you know, I think the general consensus is not too many people liked Batman v Superman, right?
Yeah.
Now, there was news that was broken a little bit earlier this week that we're recording, a week and a half from when we are posting this video, that Zack Snyder's daughter had died a few months ago, and he's stepping away from the Justice League movie, and Joss Whedon's going to be taking over. Now, I just want to say real quick that, you know, Zack Snyder, he's a director. He gives us these movies for us to even watch and review and everything like that. We're going to be bashing on the movie, not too hard, but not because of the situation, but because the movie wasn't too bad. But just want to say we give condolences to the Snyder family as they move forward through this really tough time in their lives.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We got a great episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about the Wonder Woman trailer coming out.
Oh, yeah. Women power.
And then we got Batman v Superman. We're going to be reviewing that for you guys. I know it's not the Ultimate Edition, but we are going to be reviewing the theatrical release. And what did you think? Real quick, just one word. Go.
Bummer.
Bummer. Okay. That's fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So why don't we got to let people know what these cups are for, right?
Yeah,
First.
we sure do. If this is your first show with us, we do a power hour. It's a movie power hour. Anybody can talk about movies, but we're going to get it with a good buzz in. Get a little slippery towards the end.
And then
open up our feelings.
Yeah.
And I have, we usually
How
do
many beers are we
6
playing
beers.
with? Yeah, 6.
I have 6 beers, and you look like you don't have 6 beers.
Ooh, okay. So as you guys may have remembered from previous episodes, back when we did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Power Hour, I lost the bet that we did.
By a landslide. What was the bet again?
The bet for you guys that weren't around, the loser has to drink 1 extra beer when we go, but we did an over-under on a $150 million opening for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which they made 145. Man, I was pretty close, though.
You got your clocks
Give it to
cleaned, my friend. No, but I think that's still... I think it should have gone over 150 million. Like, go check out our review.
Dude,
we really liked that movie. It was really
yeah,
good.
no, it was a really good movie. But that's why I'm drinking an extra beer. So I'm drinking 7 beers for this Power Hour instead of the normal 6.
So now he's going to get a little bit more of a heart-to-heart and a lot of honesty.
Hopefully I can still host the show.
Yeah. I need you, man.
Well, let's go ahead. Brett, do you have anything last minute that you want to say?
You know, I am very looking forward to this BVS review that you guys have on board. I watched it myself and want to see where you guys take it. So,
well, let's go ahead and get started for this Power Hour.
Start, man.
Boom. Woo! That one was
Man.
that was a little rough there.
I think the monitor
to start
shook.
out.
I felt that one over here, guys.
We're going to be talking about the Wonder Woman trailer, the final one that came out. And I have to say, we saw it already. I thought it was pretty good, but we're going to be breaking it down a little bit more for you guys. Mm-hmm. What did you think? One word. Go. You're not very good at the one words. That's okay. We're still going. All right. So, like we always do, we're going to be talking a little bit about the cast first, and then we're going to go in and watch the trailer.
All right.
All right.
Who do we got starring?
We got starring my girl, Gal Gadot, as... Yeah, Gadot.
Gadot.
Gadot?
Gadot?
Anyways, playing Wonder Woman in this, or Diana Prince as her civilian name is.
Diana Prince, Princess Diana, with Captain Kirk. Wait, Picard?
Yeah, no, Kirk, you're right.
Got it.
Chris Pine's coming in as Steve Trevor, which
That's a really
I don't know
boring
about
ass
you.
name.
I don't know about you, Deej, but my parents always said you never trust a man with two first names. So we'll see how that goes. You know,
My family taught me not to trust the white man.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
So don't trust a man with first names, but where does Chris Evans fall in this? Is it a plural first name? Can you do that too?
Because Evans is a plural.
Well,
it
of a
becomes a
first
last
name?
name.
He
Okay.
plays Steve Rogers. That's technically 4 first names if you go by that. So
That's true.
I think he's
Barking
fair
up the
game.
wrong tree.
Kind of cancel
No,
each
but
other
when it
out.
becomes plural, it's now a last name.
All right,
You
thanks
don't
for the
call
clarif-
somebody Rogers or Evans.
All right, yeah.
All right. Anyways, we're going back into this. We got Connie Nielsen as Queen Hippolyta.
Queen Hippolyta?
Yes.
Like a hippo? I hope.
She does not look like a hippo in this.
Well,
Surprisingly
I'm
enough.
pretty sure if she ever gained any weight, she'd be teased out of her mind.
Next up, we got Elena Anya as Maru / Dr. Poison.
Dr.
The main
Poison.
villain.
Oh,
That's not a creative name.
I never read the books, but that she I guess she's cool. That
Yeah.
doesn't sound very exciting though.
And then last but not least, that I just want to bring up that's in the trailer is David Thewlis.
All right, so how many Americans
Whatever.
do they have on this?
As Sir Patrick.
Sir Patrick Stewart?
No.
Sir Pat. Okay.
Sir Patrick.
Okay. All right. Well, excited. Well, do you know? I don't recognize that name at all.
I've seen his face around. I couldn't name a particular movie that he was in.
David Thewlis was the professor in Harry Potter series.
There you go.
Yeah, he was the werewolf guy. Lupin.
Boom.
Oh, I like that guy.
He was good in that movie.
RJ
Good with
Lupin?
the save there.
My brother's name is RJ.
All right, well, let's go ahead, DJ. I don't know about you, but I think it's about time we get started for this trailer.
Let's get it started, man. Got
Let's
an
go
action-packed
ahead
episode.
and get into it. Brett, the guest engineer, he's going to go ahead and cue up the video so that way we can watch it and get our feet wet with it and show everybody what it's all about and give our breakdown of it. Right?
Right.
There we go.
one
So
thing
let's go
DC's
ahead
been doing
and
great.
start it.
DC's been doing great with trailers.
Diana,
Oh, we can't hear it.
fighting does not make you a hero.
What if I promise to be careful? Just a shield then.
Diana,
No
So
shortcuts.
I like in the beginning of this where it's kind of setting up just her
careful
childhood and
with
how she's
mankind,
supposed to
Diana.
be with mankind, I guess.
I
You see
do
that
not
really cool
deserve
scene.
you.
You've told
awesome.
me this story.
And there we go. That's our first break. Now, Deej, how'd you think? Where do you think it's so far? We're only 30 seconds into this trailer.
Yeah, I really liked it so far. I did see the other two. They're whatever. But one thing I am liking in the all the trailers so far, it's not giving too much away, and I like the way that's kind of introducing a lot of her backstory.
Well, yeah, and
Good
I
way.
think, like I said, I really like this setup and about like the distrust between the Amazonians and mankind.
Yeah,
I think it really sets it up there very well.
men are just savages. As
Yeah,
is.
right? We're all savages.
Gaston.
Let's go ahead, Brett. Let's continue on.
It's looking great. Like,
Visually,
is this
it's-
place?
yeah.
Who are you people?
We are
is
the
impressive.
bridge
Just
to a
as
greater
with all of these
understanding.
movies, really.
Right.
What is your mission?
Fun.
Well, here's the thing.
yeah, the lasso of
We're
truth.
in more danger than you
I got a
think.
question about that part when we
Boys
get
in the
to
trenches
our
called her
break.
Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison, by the way.
She looks
Millions
just as
would
boring as
die.
her
The
name.
war would never end.
There we go.
I'm going, Mother.
That
If you choose
be
to
the stop
leave,
right there?
you may never
Nope,
return.
nope.
Who will I be if I stay?
yeah. Let's go to pause it here now. You're gonna be all confused, DJ. That's not our
hey.
next pause.
I'm sorry, I thought.
Gosh. DJ.
To the war.
Context
Well,
clues,
technically
man.
the war's that way, but we got to go this way first.
And there's our pause. Deej, you're supposed to look at the notes beforehand.
I didn't know they were in the notes.
All right, cool.
Kind of reminded me of a little bit of a Chris Pratt right there, like with his but we're just gonna do
he's
this
supposed
here.
to be the funny guy, right, of this movie. You know, kind of a little bit of the comic relief.
Yeah, dude, they gotta try to relate to Marvel success.
Dude, you saw Princess Diana. She doesn't really. I mean, she's very stoic.
Yeah,
She's like that. That's it. You know. So it's not like she's really gonna bring a lot of the humor. You gotta bring the guy in to do the humor. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you got to bring in.
You gotta have the dreamy couple, and the one has to be a little bit witty.
But we see that there's this setup of the villain, right?
Yeah,
She is supposed to be a part of World War I, it looks like.
how can you tell versus World War II?
Because I
Studied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did math. That's about it. Okay, yeah, World War I saw it too.
But I like how the groundwork is set there.
Yeah.
It's why, and I guess at this point you should be looking at why is Chris Pratt coming to this,
Pine.
or Pratt, jeez. You already got me confused, man.
character's
You're
already there.
screwing up this show right now. No, Chris Pine is coming in. He looks like he was coming in and asking for help, which is different than what I originally thought was going to be happening with this character.
Like he was gonna be the that explorer trying to figure out the place, or did you think he was a little bit more threatening?
I thought it was going to be an accident that he got there, right? But so far in this trailer, it seems like it was set up that he was meant to be there.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and kick out the rest of this.
How can a woman fight in this?
Yeah.
Who's
That's that
this
failed actress from
young
Shaun of the
woman?
Dead.
She's
Some more
my
cool action sequences.
That's some very Snyder-esque slow-mos.
Diana, Princess of the Mist.
Prince, Diana Prince.
There we go. Some more action soft shots.
All right, so who didn't do that?
If you believe that this war should stop, help me stop it
Poison
right
doesn't
now.
do that.
What are you?
You will soon find out.
Soon find out. I'm not sure how much I really like the music playing in this trailer. I don't know how much I really like that. Like the pop music being mixed into the
drama.
Yeah.
Looks really cool though.
Yeah, and I like it feels brighter, you know, than the past two DC movies.
Wonder
say
Woman
that
rated
happens, but-
PG-13.
Yeah,
There we go.
I think it's going to be really, really
That's the
dramatic.
end of the trailer for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into it, Deej. Right now, let me know, what are you thinking about this trailer? What's your overall impressions going on?
My overall impressions after seeing that, I cannot shake what I've gotten with the DC universe. I'm not saying I hate the DCEU or DCU, whatever.
DCEU.
DCEU, but
DC Extended Universe.
they've been doing really good with their trailers.
Yes, and there's been hype going into every one of these movies.
Yeah, so
Every one of them. Man
Right.
of Steel had well, I don't know about Man of Steel really, but Batman v Superman had a ton of hype going into it.
Criminy.
Suicide Squad was the one that I was really excited for and
There was-
ended up
it was
getting
gonna steal the
very
summer.
let down for.
Yes. Oh my! And you waited to see that, and I feel bad that you had to see it so recently.
Yeah, dude.
How
it
are
was,
those wounds right now? Are they still fresh?
Oh my god, Suicide Squad has got so many problems with it. I'm surprised that people think it's better than Batman v Superman. To be honest, I think it's a worse movie.
Yeah,
in my
there's
opinion.
so much. Yeah, I want to talk about Leto a little bit more later in this review, but there's some creative creative liberties he
Yeah.
took that just didn't really hit the mark.
Well, it was one of those classic things of studio coming in contact with the crew, with the film director. I guess you can say.
Did you see Toy Story 2?
Yes.
Do you
I've
remember
seen Toy
when
Story 2.
the old man was painting Woody's foot and like airbrushing, like cleaning him up to be sent to Japan? And he's like, "Is it done yet? You can't rush art." And even though I get paid to work fast, I kind of feel like that's what's going to be hitting all of these.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I'm just going to be taking it with a grain of salt. It looks great, but I'm not going to expect it to be awesome.
I wish I could be this, or I wish I could have the same kind of attitude that you do, but I got to tell you, I'm excited for this movie. I mean, I think it's going to be the best one that we've had so far. Not really saying much
know,
for
that's-
that universe.
a
Although
low
Man of
bar.
Steel, I fell asleep through it 3 times, but I keep getting told that it's the best one out of all 3 of the movies that have come out so far.
Oh,
But I definitely have a good feeling about it, and I don't know. You know, they're kind of feels like. Here's one thing that I heard from a couple people that was a good point. This has a benefit of being isolated away from everything else, right? So this movie is taking place during the 1910s, essentially.
So we're not going to run into young Bruce Wayne. Or
Exactly. That's the fair point there, and I feel like that gives them the chance to be able to just focus on her and not throw in like so many Easter eggs like we're going to be talking about later with Batman v Superman, where it just gets all over the place with how much they're trying to include in that movie.
Here comes a pun. Is they were stepping on eggshells in the way they had to execute that
movie. Knocked that one out of the park. In? It's out.
Okay.
Anyways, I just want to say that there's a lot of great visuals, great action set pieces going on. Awesome.
Yeah, we can both agree it's gonna be great.
Gal Gadot is great. She's got that. I don't care what anybody says. She is my Wonder Woman. Like, I know everybody's talking about Linda Carter as the original Wonder Woman back during the television series as being their Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot's my Wonder Woman.
Yeah, when I first saw her in Batman v Superman, not gonna lie, even though my girlfriend wouldn't stop gawking at her, big crush. But she did look to me just the way she held herself, her beauty, and she just was intimidating. She owned the role. I kind of felt like she looked like a better Wonder Woman than the cartoon showed me. And
I don't know what it is. Her like stare, I think, is what sells it for me the most, because she is so intense, and that's what
graceful.
I don't know. I obviously we're not comic book readers, but
reading's tough.
It's kind of what I just expect. Yeah, those picture books, man. That's what I've kind of expect Wonder Woman to be like. Is just very stoic and strong, feeling strong and fierce, right? Because she's been growing up in this Amazon, area where she's taught all these, principles and how to fight and be a warrior. That's kind of what I just expect.
No interruption of the savage man. I think those are just regular women. Just if they didn't have us guys getting in their way, trying to ask to buy them a drink, they'd be amazing.
So let's go into it here. We got ratings predictions going on. Now, I want to let you know what the previous movies were on Rotten Tomato on the Tomato Meter.
Oh, yowza.
Okay. First off, we got Man of Steel sitting at around 55%.
Whew!
Rotten, right?
Yeah.
That's rotten rating.
It's a strong rotten by them.
Next up, we got BVS, Batman v Superman, which is what we're going to be reviewing a little bit later. It has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought it was mixed.
Nah.
Not really mixed reviewed.
Mixed like ketchup.
Well, okay. Remember, it's people giving. So the Tomato Meter works as an aggregate of like positive reviews. Yeah. So if it consistently is getting a negative review, no matter how negative it is, if people are just like, oh, it was okay, it was not really that good, or if it was like, it sucked.
Yeah.
That whole sliding scale becomes a negative on the Tomato Meter, which is what brings down that rating, right?
Okay.
So next up, we got Suicide Squad at 22% or 25%. So
wait, so 25 and 28, you said?
28 and then 55. So 55, 28, and 25. So you can see that there's this downward trend happening. Hopefully we don't see the same thing, and I really don't expect the same thing to happen with this movie.
I don't expect it, but I'm still not going to be totally expecting a really good one. Yeah, just a grain of salt with this trailer. Looked amazing.
I'm calling it right now. We're not going to include it in our bet, but I guarantee that it's going to be at least a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is over 60%. You're really thinking it's not going to get that.
I don't know if it's going to break 70. That's what I think.
Well, I said 60 though.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying, I'm like, am I going to think a little lower?
The reviews that are coming out right now are generally favorable.
I know. I'm not trying to think about them.
Hey,
this is my hunches.
It's what.
No, I will agree with you, but I still don't think it's going to quite get to 70. But that's not our bet.
All right, so you guys know we're doing this new bet thing every time or every episode. Our bet this week is going to be what it's going to open up with for box office. Right. So we were talking about it before. We're going back and forth. Box office tracking is sitting around $65 million.
65 million. Boldish. I mean, I don't know if it's going to quite get there.
You don't think it's going to get there? Well, I think it is going to get there. In fact, I'm thinking it's going to make over 70 million.
Over 70. Okay. All right.
You're going to take the under on that one?
I'll take the under.
All right. So hopefully my 0-2 record doesn't continue. And hopefully I win one.
Hopefully one day.
All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of the trivia and close out the rest of this trailer segment. So the estimated budget, what do you think the budget is, DJ? Go.
All right. I think the budget... There's a lot of slow-mo. The cameras are expensive.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to say...
Go.
I'm going to say 90 million.
90 million. You are wrong.
Ah, shit.
The estimated budget of this movie is $120 million.
Christ.
Which is not that bad. Because Batman v Superman, which I'll bring it up later for you guys who are just skipping through this video. Batman v Superman was $250 million production budget.
God. How much is that movie coming out this summer with the two people that look like they never sleep?
Okay, so yeah,
Valerian.
I got my own problems with Valerian and whatever. It's supposed to be sitting at around 180 million for production budget, but there's been reports of it being over 200 million for a property that nobody knows.
Yeah, that's bold.
Yeah, and apparently it's not being done by a particular studio forking out most of that money. It's by the director. Anyways, so we were already talking about it early. Box office projecting is going to be around $25 million or $65 million. We think we're going to do over under on 70.
70. Yep.
Now,
risk a beer on that one.
The next trivia point that I want to bring up is that this is the first female dominant superhero film since 12 years ago when it was Elektra.
Elektra. When you say dominant, like most of the characters are, or
the
just
center lead?
Center lead? That sucks. Really? 12 years ago?
With Elektra of all movies.
Yeah, that one hit out of the park too. That
terrible spin-off to the terrible Daredevil movie. Anyways,
well, hey, that's kind of funny because the last lead women, whatever it's called, is a spin-off from a Ben Affleck led movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Batman v Superman. I hope this one does well.
All right, I got 10 seconds ready to go. Patty Jenkins is the first woman to direct a superhero film with a female protagonist. All right, we got 5 seconds. Here we go, and we're gonna pause there. All right, so we're taking this last shot. Did you like how I handled that?
I did. I think you did. Without stumbling too much. These beers are stronger.
Well, I got an extra beer that I'm working with, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take this last shot here now. I know you guys saw we got Brett Neas in the house as our engineer, but we still got to keep the Matman 1 hundo for his P-break raps with the Matman 1 hundo.
1 hundo.
Jeez,
okay, can you just give me a second, bro?
He is going to be rapping about what we've been talking about. Of course, it's never really that much about what we've been talking about. He kind of just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I'm a loose cannon, bro. You don't even know about this life.
The rap game.
Yeah, it's intense. All right.
All right,
Okay,
so
get
let's
outta
go
here.
ahead and get into it. Are you ready, Matman 1 hundo?
Bro, don't even ask. I was born ready.
All right, let's
we go.
Matman 1 hundo, P-break rap.
All right, what's going on? Thanks, Brett, for coming in and helping out, man. Okay, here we go. Let's start it over. We got to get the fresh track. You know, we don't mess around here. 1 hundo on the beat. Where you at, though? DCEU sounds like it should be cool, but these cast of characters are all fools. With my new friend... Oh, messed up. Here we go. Yep. Matman 100, he always rules. Hell yeah, I'm drinking hella brews. With my new friend Brett, yep, who I just met. And I'm drinking Coors Light because I lost a bet. Yeah. Shouts out to Mo Banger for this beat. Bringing fire, yeah, we're cooking meat. Eating so much food, I need to take a seat. DJ shirt, yeah, it's hella fleek. This is a pre-break rap. Yeah, it's with your boy Matt. Sure, I used to be hella fat. Now I'm like a fad, you know that. Bitten off the hip, We're rapping and laughing. You ready to do this, Matt? I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, am I back on now?
You're always on what I'm saying.
You usually give us a little bit more of a like, hey, you're
I have
ready
a
to
brain.
go.
Bro, I'm just going. I'm not stopping.
All right. That was the Pee Break Rap with the Madman 100. I'm going to go ahead and stop him there. You guys will see him on the next Pee Break Rap after we're done reviewing Batman v Superman, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Brett's going to come back in for the engineering. We will be tossing back and forth. I know we didn't get a lot of his input on Wonder Woman, but that's because I wanted to save most of his opinion for Batman v Superman.
I'm excited on that one.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm excited for your opinion, my man.
So, before we get into, we should probably start the Power Hour again, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Woo!
Let's do another one. Christ.
Ow.
Christ.
Let's go ahead and start the clock. All right. So, here at CJ and DJ's Movie Power Hour, we like to bring you a lot of good entertainment with our talking and everything like that. But we also got this fantastic artwork that my co-host with the Mo-host, our co-host with the Mo-host actually, comes up with. And he's got another great poster to show off to you guys. Go ahead and take it from here, Deej.
Thanks, man. You're going to make me blush. Well, I'm a graphic designer. I love drinking. I love movies. I like art. I love art. Let's just say I combine all the three. The route I took this week was my love for Batman and Superman, the animated series. I did not give this movie that much of a chance because I feel so passionately about it. And I really wanted a Batman v Superman to be the biggest fight of the century.
Totally.
The fight of the century. So I designed this poster like a fight card, and I did put some overlays of the icons of the animated series, Batman, my main man, and then there's the blue leotard guy. But I love both of those guys, and I just came out with a nifty
Is that
fight
why
card
you're rocking
poster.
red right now?
It-
Because you like the other fighter?
It isn't. Look closely. My man is Matt Man. Matt Man 100. This is a limited edition shirt, but you know what? I don't know why Matt doesn't wear it. I am a Batman guy. I do want to say that I love my man, Matt-Man 100. He is great. He's the best rapper when it's just
That you
him.
know.
He's the best rapper in the CJ and DJ's engineer before this week. But in reality, I just lost my Batman shirt. Okay, but that's about it.
Anyways, we got a fight card going on right now, like we would have expected for the UFC. Kind of where you're drawing some inspiration from, right?
I did, but I avoided Rift. That's the font that UFC likes to use. I used Futura instead. I know that's what you guys like to use. like to know. But yeah, so this is the poster this week, and you can see it on our Facebook, Twitter,
on our Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
Facebook and
social
Instagram
medias.
at Movie Brewhouse Productions, and then you on our Twitter at Movie Brewhouse.
DJ, I got a question for you real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
So those seem like fighting words when you were talking shit about that UFC font.
Oh, no.
Do you think you could take the UFC marketing guy in an octagon?
In an octagon? Yes, I can.
I think so too. That's what I was just thinking right now. Anyway, sorry guys.
That's a direct challenge. Whoever you are.
All right, we're gonna call him out on Twitter now, huh?
Yeah. If you guys know who the that guy is, tag him to CJDJMPH.
Nice.
Is that it?
Yeah, CJDJMPH.
And we'll have a cage match, and then he can teach me how he markets, because damn, I really like their ads.
They do have some pretty good ads. All right, let's get into it, guys. We're going to be talking about Batman v Superman. Dawn of Justice is actually the whole title.
Yeah, it is. That's the fight card name.
And we're going to be reviewing it for you guys. Now, we got a little bit of a different format. We're always going to be starting out with talking about a little bit about the cast. And then after that, we're going to do more of a general discussion. This movie is so long that
it made our engineer
scene by
sigh.
scene breakdown anymore. We're gonna just talk about the movie. We're gonna break it up by acts. That way you guys know what we're talking about. And at the very end, we'll give our overall review, and then a little bit of the trivia at the end.
Yeah, and then let us know what you think afterwards.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know if you like the new format, because we'll continue on with the rest of our shows like that.
We just want to give you some great content as long as our buzz faces can do it.
All right, let's get into it. First up, my boy, Ben Affleck, who I always support, even though Live by Night ended up not being a very good movie.
Unfortunately. Because I talked about this earlier with you before. Family Guy gave me a bad opinion on him. I was just watching Family Guy and they made fun of him like, oh, this is how he prepares for a role. And it's like very basic. I'm like, oh, does that mean he's a shitty actor? And then I saw Batman v Superman going in thinking that this dude's a f***ing asshole. And I'm like, dude, I like him a lot. And then
He was really good.
And we saw Argo. I liked him a lot. So you know what? He's my man too.
There we go. So Ben Affleck's coming in. He's playing Bruce Wayne / Batman. Probably a really good iteration of Batman, in my opinion.
Very
actually.
surprising.
I
took
go
these
back and
characters to
forth.
heart.
Huh?
I took these characters to heart, so I didn't want to give them a chance, and I really liked them.
I go back and forth between him and Christian Bale for their interpretations as who's the best Batman. I know Michael Keaton's got a pretty strong place in people's hearts, but at the same rate, I saw the Michael Keaton movies after I saw Christian Bale, so Christian Bale has a pretty strong part in my heart for Batman, but I would have to say Ben Affleck really bringing it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the biggest the biggest whatever, like negative I can go on it is his ears are so damn small. I'm gonna be real. It turned me off.
I actually got a trivia point for that we'll be talking about at the end of why the ears are so small.
You better give me a convincing excuse.
Anyways, I'll let you know what the real reason is later on. Next up, we got Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry. I call it Cavill. Some people call him Cavill, like
Cavill.
Corella Cavill.
Henry Stoneface Cavill as Clark Kent / Superman.
He's more of a chiseled marble face.
That's true.
More of a stone face.
He's definitely made out of marble.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
I love that actress. I did not like her in this one.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because of the writing. I think they tried to
gotta
force her in too much.
You think? She had no place being in so many places. But
Yeah.
But she still portrayed this stupid reporter very well.
Pulitzer Prize winning.
Her character's Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
This is really hard to say. All right. But
Next up, we got Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Probably my least favorite part of
who
this
else
movie.
do we got in this movie?
Then lastly, the last person I want to bring up, there's lots of other people in this movie, but the last person I want to bring up is the person that we were talking about for Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot,
Yes.
as Diana Prince.
One of the ones that stole the show.
Yeah.
No, when I mean that, it's not totally complimentary. She was shoehorned in a little bit. That's why she stole it. Because like, wow, I like what I just saw, but she came out of nowhere.
At the
what do you
end,
like
it
calling
was
her?
very Deus Ex Wonder Woman.
Yes, very
We'll talk
appropriate.
about that a little bit later when we get into the final act. So let's get into it here. We're just going to have a general discussion about the first act.
All right.
Right? So the first thing I want to bring up is the beginning. The first 10 minutes. Remember, we were watching this movie together, and I was like, man, the first 10 minutes of this movie is really good.
No, he didn't. He's all, you know what, Deej? I think the first 20 minutes of this movie is pretty damn good. And then we missed the first season. After Bruce Wayne runs into that collapsing building.
Yeah, right after the portion when he's in Metropolis and he's doing his whole heroic thing.
There's not even I don't remember a performance or like an actor or a character that made me like him that quickly.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this guy is so badass already.
As you guys may have remembered, that was only the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like,
You're like, wait a second, not 20 minutes. So it was a really good first scene and a half or whatever. And
so
then
I like the way that they handled Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. Everybody knows the story.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just
Sorry, the way that sounds. I know what you mean.
Right. Let me elaborate on that. Everybody knows the origin story of Bruce Wayne and Batman, right? I like the way that they handled it because it's so fast and not drawn out, and we get the whole story out of the way so that way we can get the rest of Batman's life going.
Yeah. Okay. I got what you meant.
And the slow-mo shot with the pearl necklace, too. That was incredible.
Yeah. So
I like that.
I was talking with
don't love that they
DJ
died, though.
about this while DJ and I, we watch these movies and we pause like probably 20 times throughout the movie just to talk about what's happened. I was like, DJ, do you think Zack Snyder could have cut out 20 minutes of the movie just if he did things in regular motion instead of slow-mo?
I think so. I mean, but then that is his
signature,
trademark, right? Yeah. Like,
but I was talking about the whole Bruce's parents getting killed was all in slow-mo.
yeah. Well, do you like slow mo in movies?
You know, I'm a little torn on slow-mo. I think slow-mo was ruined with Mission Impossible and the doves.
Oh, Mission Impossible 2.
I was expecting
definitely.
a dove to fly out during the Bruce Wayne murder scene. Yeah.
I wonder what people would have thought about that if it's just a random dove flew out. His bleeding parents.
John Woo.
Martha.
John Woo. Exactly. All right. The other thing I want to bring up about the first 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
I like the tie-in. I'm a real fan of the tie-in from Batman being introduced into the Man of Steel world and ultimately the DCEU world. I thought it was a really good tie-in, and it really sets the motivation for the reason why Batman doesn't like Superman.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I like how he did feel like he was the voice, or the hero that's like, the Man of Steel kind of ignored that, like, so many people died.
Yeah.
And this is justifying that's like, yo, we're pretty pissed about this.
Well, yeah, and I've talked about it plenty of times when we've talked about Man of Steel is like there are billions dollars worth of damage. Billions. Like billions upon billions.
But did you see the end of Man of Steel?
Yeah, I saw that.
The soldier.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but he's hot, though. It's like, really? You f***ing kidding me?
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
really, it's a tragedy.
The next thing I want to talk about is the desert CIA mission.
Yeah, did not make sense. So we get our woman of the hour.
I absolutely hate the fact that Lois Lane was out there in the first place. And we never get told what the reason was. She was going on some weird ass assignment, but she had the CIA agents follow her as well. Like, there is no... I just can't wrap my head around, and it's probably in the Ultimate Edition that it gets a little bit more explained why she's out there. But at the same rate, I don't understand why she's out there in the first place.
CJ, you're bringing up a good point. She is a Daily Planet journalist getting followed by the CIA.
Exactly. Like, what the f*** is happening right now?
Is the Pulitzer Prize that big of a deal? I mean,
I don't know, actually.
Now, I understand the reason for the scene, like for the plot and everything like that, but you still got to give us a little bit of why she's even out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get on this a little bit more, but they do take a lot. They catch us off guard and then throw us jabs upon jabs with it, like the fact that there was an undercover CIA agent and that guy was Jimmy Olsen, right? That's his
Which
name?
they never
say his
even
name.
mention it. They do in the Ultimate Cut, but they never mention it in the movie. And it was like Zack Snyder comes out and he's like, "Did you catch that Easter egg?" That was Jimmy Olsen. We're like, what the
Clever, right?
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
It threw me off guard because I mean I watched the cartoons because it's easier for my eyes to process, and Jimmy Olsen's a big character, and
Right, but he is just a buddy.
yeah, he's just a buddy. Oh, that's what I mean. He's not that much of an impactful character, but he's a buddy.
But he's not
that,
CIA. Is
Right.
the point?
Like, yeah.
So to kind of throw this out at us, because I did a little bit of research about who Jimmy Olsen is and everything like that. He is literally Superman's buddy, and he kind of becomes this guy who accidentally gets powers for a little bit and then loses them, and then goes through this whole weird rigmarole of being the goofy friend.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then now we're just supposed to have him as the CIA agent,
so we got Jimmy Olsen.
who's not even a friend with Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Clark
saying.
Kent.
Clark Kent. We got Jimmy Olsen. The only thing that makes him a reporter is the camera, which he is an undercover CIA agent. So who are we even supposed to believe that he was even employed with them? On top of that, Superman saves Lois Lane. He doesn't know who the f*** Jimmy Olsen is.
Yeah, well, he wasn't there because of Jimmy Olsen. He was there for Lois Lane.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But it was a stupid tie-in.
right. The reason that he could have been anybody.
Yeah.
And we would have been just as attached because he doesn't have the same time. Yeah, it's a silly Easter egg.
So
A rotten Easter egg.
kind of moving on the plot along here. We get introduced to Batman, right? He comes in.
Ooh, yeah, this is a
The
chilling
girls
scene.
that are down in the cell kind of refer to him as like the devil, but they save him.
Yeah.
They save them.
Yeah.
Now, I thought the reveal was kind of just okay. He has this weird
Hey.
up in the corner. Brett, what did you think about that?
That was a really weird introduction.
I
to
laughed. I really did laugh.
It was
when
silly,
I saw it.
But I really liked. I mean, when you see the reveal, it was really funny. But the music, the shaking of those, were they cops or army guys? I forgot.
Yeah,
It's a long
Cops.
like mercenary
They're
cops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where-
So you could tell how afraid everybody is, and that sold me versus the.
Weirdly up in the corner, and then he moves around like a bat, which was crazy.
Oh yeah, that was extra creepy. That was like Exorcist creepy.
that's
though.
that's a Snyder polish on that one.
One of the main things about the first act that kind of gets introduced and really hammered in throughout the rest of the movie is this theme of like man versus God, and the fear of man, and kind of just this overall Jesus theme that goes on with Superman.
Yeah.
Right. And that gets hammered in a lot. So that's kind of like my next thing is appropriate. Yeah, I would say it's probably appropriate for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, there was a conversation where we're saying like, yeah, I don't think he should be here, and it's like, well, I think he is our God, and then it's like, what if he was around where your daughter was dying, he could have stopped her, but he didn't because he was too busy doing something else, or like kind of stumped you.
Yeah.
It was something like that, and it's like, wow, that was a legitimate concern, but I caught that on my second viewing. It really rushed through that.
Yes, it does. It goes really fast through.
What it was trying to go for, it didn't do that well. But what it was trying to go for, which this whole movie was trying to go for, I like what they were trying to do. It's just that Snyder did have or whoever helped him write it too. They had a big load to take to the face.
Yeah, like I felt okay. I'll agree with that. I feel like the tone was a little bit off with that Christ-like kind of analogy, because if you watch that movie alone, it completely sells it. But then you watch Batman up to that point, and he's completely ruined Metropolis trying to destroy one guy, and it's like, well, where's the responsibility in this guy if he just destroyed an entire yeah.
There's not a very clear line of what makes someone heroic.
Yeah, seriously. The other thing that gets done in this first act is Lex Luthor gets introduced.
Oh fuck!
I hate Jesse Eisenberg in this movie.
In this movie,
and I really don't like him in a lot of movies. And it's so weird because Zombieland is one I really like that movie, and I also really like Adventureland that he was in. The Social Network was really good that
30
he was
Seconds or
in.
Less was kind of funny.
Whoever is his agent, he's killing it.
Dude, yeah.
He's getting the spots for him. Because I do not like Jesse Eisenberg, especially since I've seen him in a couple interviews and he's a dick.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, when I first saw him in Zombieland, I thought he was like a knockoff Michael Cera. Michael Cera, for some strange reason, has a bad agent.
So I just want to add it to this list that we're collecting now of people who probably won't want to be on the show.
Oh, Christ.
Jesse Eisenberg, you suck. And I really didn't like you in this movie. And come on, dude, you're an entertainer. Be nicer to the reporters.
As an artist, I do respect how crazy he went with going as Lex Luthor, because this is nowhere near what Lex Luthor is known as, and I get that he's Lex Luthor Jr. supposed to be a dad, but him and Jared Leto, 30 Seconds to Mars.
I don't know, Leto, whatever.
They both took some big risk. I admire that, but it was a crushing. The same year, gosh, they ruined some characters that year. So he didn't do well.
Brett
took a risk.
I want to know what did you think of Jesse Eisenberg in this movie?
I'm right with you. I do not like his approach to a lot of roles. I think he is the American version of Hugh Grant. It's like this excited, stuttery, nervous type of person that doesn't ever convey the role really well. So yeah, I was disappointed.
I just hate like every role. He does not bring anything to too many roles. I feel like every role that he's in, he just plays a version of himself.
100%.
He does. He did make me laugh. It was likely unintentionally, with the exception of the scene where the speech. That one scene where Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent finally meet, where he's like forgetting his speech. Oh, that's kind of silly. I know he's trying to be funny. But here, I got a question for both you guys. When I was watching this movie, he seemed quirky. He had like a master plan, and it's like, dude, there's a lot of holes in that plan. First of all, with the fact that he was able to nail it.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think of him, or at least the character that he was trying to be as a Riddler? I think that's more of a Riddler than a Lex Luthor, the way he approached it. I
think that he would have fit pretty well as a Riddler.
Yeah, I agree. That's an interesting take on that, because that completely changes that character and how.
I'm totally down. If they were like, hey, Jesse Eisenberg is going to be Riddler, even if Riddler was the main villain, which they wouldn't do that for this movie, but. If they were like, Jesse Eisenberg's going to be the Riddler, and he keeps that same weird personality or whatever, and I'm a torture genius, I think that probably would have worked better or more in his favor, because the Riddler's just kind of like a version of Jesse Eisenberg anyways.
My whole complaint with Eisenberg on this movie was I felt like he was trying to pull a Heath Ledger, where you could tell he was scripted to do things, and then he went beyond the scripting, and somebody was there going like, damn, that looks really dumb. But is anybody going to tell Eisenberg to cut it and we got to reshoot that one?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, he probably did try to go that Heath Ledger artistic route. What if they did cast him as the Riddler and he gave the most blow away Lex Luthor intimidating performance ever?
SAG Awards up the wazoo.
Like,
well, yeah, I mean, that was probably my biggest problem with Jesse Eisenberg being Lex Luthor is I always imagine as Lex Luthor being this not criminal, but like business mastermind and menacing as fuck.
Yeah, Jesus.
And at no point was I scared of Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. You know, and I for someone who is the arch nemesis, the #1 nemesis of Superman, he fell flat.
Well, that's physical appearances aside, we learned that Clark Kent's a bit of a doofus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he is a good match.
You know, Gene Hackman is like, God damn it, this guy fucked it up.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Hackman's going to come out of retirement to replace Lex Luthor in the next one.
Let me take it. Let me take it over. Just, like, bring me in.
Let's blaze through some points here that I want to get through for the first act. We see there's Batman. We get introduced to Batman doing some really detective work, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
That's like his core character.
And you see a bit of his technology. It's not too over the top, but it's like, oh, dude, that's like vintage Batman.
Like, totally.
It looks
like
really good.
when he hacks the phone or clones the phone. With it just being on the table and everything. The other thing I wanted to talk about just real quick here is we see Batman in the Batcave. He's like closing up his suit, and then we see this glass case of what I would imagine Robin's suit would be like, and it says, "Ha ha, joke's on you, Batman." Now, here's the first of a long list of extraneous Easter eggs of movies that haven't been made yet.
CJ, that pissed me off.
2024. Remember that?
Oh,
remember this?
man.
It's coming out right now.
Yo.
Remember that movie that we're going to make 6 years in the future? Well, here it is. You got it. Which they didn't even address in Suicide Squad, which is where I would have thought they would have.
Wait, the murder of Robin?
Yeah.
Dude,
I thought they were going to
take that drink. Listen to me. The thing I liked about Suicide Squad, surprisingly, when they were introducing each character and they... Are you wearing your Madman 100 shirt, dude?
Yeah, he is.
Step in front of the camera.
We got uniforms over here. Where's mine?
I like 3
You
more.
got extras.
It's about to be in my rap because you were being such an a-hole calling me out, so.
I forgot what I called you out about. But, so.
And I'm drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade, don't judge.
He's too much of a man for beer.
I had a good point. We were just talking about Bruce Wayne's technology.
All right,
the suit.
Robin.
Yeah. Casey, so listen to this. CJ.
I'm listening
Sorry,
right now. Go.
Secret identity. So when they were introducing each character in Suicide Squad, they like paused it, gave it like a little like a stats card, baseball card or whatever. Oh, they're famous for this, notable kills or some shit like that. With their progressively
It was like a
changing
Suge Knight
soundtrack.
rap sheet.
Yeah. But they paused in Harley Quinn. Killed Robin.
Right.
You knew that.
No, well, I saw it.
Oh shit! That's what you missed. Well, that's the only thing you mentioned about killing Robin.
I just thought it was gonna be a bigger portion of that movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, like
that would have been
there was
great.
a lot of misinterpretations that I thought was gonna happen in Suicide Squad that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, like poorly executed Easter eggs. Because what that whole suit in Batman versus Superman, I was thinking Jason Todd is coming on.
Yeah, I thought so too. But yeah, I wish I knew which Robin or what timeline it was. I mean, Bruce Wayne was great, so maybe he's like 5 years off of Batman Beyond. But you know what? I'm really interested in that Batman because we're gonna say this towards the end, but he was the best part of the movie. He didn't steal the show; he was the movie.
Yeah, he was the movie. So, real quick, last couple points I want to talk about for the first act. We were spending a lot of time on the first act, but that's because the second act doesn't really have much to it. The Jesus themes are pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to know, like, during the dinner sequence that they have, where Lex Luthor invites all the people over, and he's like, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne back in this weird thing that I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he know both of the alter egos? I'm gonna say yeah. He knew.
I want to say that.
I mean, it's not hard to tell with Clark Kent because all he does is wear glasses compared to his regular face.
How the f did he know? But I want to say it because I want to try to believe Lex Luthor's plan because it was so many things had to go right. He had to have been that smart.
He had to have known way at the beginning.
Which makes Bruce Wayne look kind of dumb. He's
like
oh, shit.
when Superman got introduced, he's like, dude, that's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
The Riddler would have known.
You know, like it had to have been known right away. And then the other thing that I want to bring up for the last part of the first act is the dream sequences are starting to play a big role. Now, in my opinion, they didn't need to be there. But did you think that the dream sequences needed to be there? The two of them, I think there was.
For a business standpoint, yeah. So they can release Justice League 2 when Infinity Wars 2 comes out. But otherwise, this is going to go to my final review, and I'm going to be very passionate about it. You see it here. It really took away from the movie, and it did not need to be there. They're kind of you have this great rum and coke, right?
Right.
And someone decides to put
weird.
A smooth
choice
Mike's Hard Lemonade inside of it. Like you don't need to do that.
Perfect analogy.
That's what happened.
All right, so that wraps up the first act. We're going to head into the second act, which I was talking about, it's pretty short. There's not a lot going on. Now, one thing I want to start to address here is Superman is not really... He's supposed to hate Batman, but the motive is not really clear.
Yeah, Batman is completely clear. It's like you're killing a shit ton of people.
Totally.
And when he yelled at Alfred, if there's even a 1% chance of him doing all this stuff, we need to take it as an absolute certainty because he's that powerful.
Right.
Superman's like, what was he like? He
didn't like the fact. The only conclusion I can bring up is that he did not like the way that the Batman was handling it. So he was branding people and, putting them in jail and stuff like that. He just, unless Superman was like, I got to handle everything myself, which I guess.
He's pulling like Old Testament shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like the angry god in the second act that he's just, you don't have no idea what's going on.
Which
He's just
I
really
bet you
mad.
they were trying to do a comparison with, but it did not land for me at all.
Yeah. This
Awkward pause.
This is where my bad. I was burping too. Was this the scene where was this is the act where he went to talk to his mommy, right?
Yeah.
Martha?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All of them where they're like with great, well, I mean, even in
That's
Civil
Uncle
War,
Ben.
where they kind of explain it. In the first one, with great
power comes
responsibility. The Amazing Spider-Man, they did something similar to that. And then in Civil War, Peter was saying that, I was taught this. If you have the power to stop something, then you should do it. What did Martha say? She's like, if you don't do it, then you don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
They don't deserve you.
yeah, dude, if they don't respect you.
Fuck them.
The Ayn Rand approach to everything.
All right. So I want to talk about a little bit about Lex Luthor's plan here. Because this is where it's really shaping up and you're starting to really learn more about what Lex Luthor was trying to do.
This is where it takes some brain power.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot of, like, what if I didn't show up? Scenarios in it. Anyways, we find out that the desert sequence was arranged so that way they can blame Superman for it to come out of nowhere to save Lois Lane, which at that is even kind of iffy.
Yeah, if that's what you're starting off as.
Then we find out right before this Senate hearing that they're having, which, by the way, there's this whole B plot of Lex Luthor fighting the senator of Kentucky, who is a Democratic woman, which I call actual bullshit on because I don't know if you guys been around in Kentucky, not to alienate our Kentucky fans, but
Jodie Foster ain't senator in Kentucky.
You guys got some white Republican males there. Lex is not allowing the checks to go to this wheelchair dude that Bruce saves in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah, and I think they're like, are they monthly checks?
I'm pretty sure they were monthly checks
I don't
because
know
he was
how
going
expensive-
through them and he's like,
I don't know how
was
expensive
only
Gotham
18
is.
months.
There was like $1,000 each check.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you could live
So-
off of that.
he's not letting the wheelchair dude get his checks, who is Scoot McNairy, which I didn't mention, by the way.
Yeah, check out one of our other episodes. Check out all of our episodes. You know what I'm talking about. I thought he was actually
Argo?
making fun of this name. Was it Argo? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Argo.
McNairy. That's silly.
So wheelchair. This makes wheelchair dude get pissed, right?
Yeah.
And I call him wheelchair dude because I really don't remember his name.
And you don't care about the handicapped.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He gets pissed. He uses the wheelchair dude to blow up the Senate hearing. And there's this weird, like, grandma's pissed thing that they're the senator and Lex Luthor are going back and forth about, which I felt was kind of unrelated. But it further frames Superman. And we see these weird cryptic messages written on the checks that are getting sent back to Bruce Wayne. This whole time I'm like, man, Lex is relying on people just making sure that they continue on with their daily work. Because honestly, somebody at Wayne Corp would have been like, hey, Bruce Wayne, we've been getting these weird like threats through these checks that keep getting sent back to us. We probably should add some extra security detail for you.
You think? But I mean, when Bruce Wayne asks, I mean, obviously, Wayne Corp or whatever it is, they have to have
Wayne
some
Corp,
background checks. Why haven't I seen these checks?
He dabbles in
I'll get back to you.
security, not cybersecurity.
But he's like, I'll get back to you. And that's the last we heard of that.
Right.
They could have elaborated a little bit more on it.
The next part that I want to talk about, and it's shown very, very shortly here, and we'll talk about it more in great detail later, but we see that Bruce Wayne finally got his encrypted data that he was looking for. Right after the whole dream sequence, Flash coming in being like, is this too soon?
It's too soon!
It's too soon! That weird portion that shouldn't have been involved anyways. But we see these icons coming back, and or these icons in the decrypted data. So it's weird. Lex Luthor's like making up these identities for people, right?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a second. Was that the last you were going to talk about the scene? Or Okay, well, the bigger
right before we
problem
get
I have-
into Lex Luthor and his relationship. Get it?
Get it. So, I know it sounds like we're shitting a lot on it, but honestly, there's a lot of confusion that brings this up. So Bruce, it opens to a scene in the desert. It's obviously a dream sequence. You guys can watch it. We can describe it, but you know what? Just watch it. You'll know how weird and confusing it is. As soon as he wakes up, that's when the Flash comes in and say, "Am I too soon?" And then
he looks at the menu.
He wakes up again, and then upload complete. I think that's almost enough to forget about the first dream sequence. There's so much that happens in there. So, like, just pounding in your face.
Totally.
And that's basically when the scene ends. Because when he opens that up, that's how he discovers, this girl is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know who approved it. It will leave you confused.
So
confused.
So the last part of the second act, that I want to talk about is Lex Luthor and his relationship.
Okay.
Meaning the Krypton ship that he hacks into somehow. He gets this magical security override, which I don't know how he was able to figure this out. It's a ship from a...
They're papers.
Yeah. It was a ship from another planet.
The manuals.
And he somehow figured out what the security override is going to be. I call bullshit on it anyway. But he starts this whole process of Doomsday, which we are just getting introduced to at this point now.
Yeah,
who comes into later. Yeah, it cuts his hand. It's genetic abomination, blah, 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 whatever. That's it. We're going into the final scene now. Deej, I want to ask you this.
All right.
Action, awesome.
Dude.
The best part out of this whole movie is the action, right?
And
it's this whole final act, the action is great. The battle between Batman v Superman, the battle between the Justice Trio, and Doomsday was awesome. You know, that's all so great. Logic is gone.
My biggest issue with Doomsday, I mean, I thought he was fun. You can whatever. But in trailer 2, when it came out, that's when they showed Doomsday. I thought this was gonna be Batman v Superman. Then they put a lot of focus on Lex Luthor. I'm like, oh, what is he gonna bring to the table? He might be the reason they fight. All of a sudden, Doomsday comes, and you see them partner up in that second trailer, and I'm like.
With Wonder Woman.
They're revealing, with Wonder Woman, they're revealing too much.
That part.
They're revealing Wonder Woman. They're revealing that villain that they all team up to fight. They revealed too much. So whenever, I mean, already I didn't like, well, I forgot his actor's name. Heisenberg.
Yes.
Heisenberg.
Lex Luthor.
And I knew that Gal Gadot was going to be there. And I'm like, all right, so I don't have to worry about these characters too much. It's going to make me respect them less because they're going to be fighting this other villain.
That was the shitty part that happens in the final act is, you know, Lex Luthor's going all through all of this shit to try to get Batman to fight Superman and for Superman to fight Batman. And at the end, he just cops out and he forces Superman to fight Batman, which makes you feel like, what the is happening? Because that whole sequence would have been way stronger if they both figured out together that they were getting manipulated by this person.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, I see you shaking your head over there.
I 100%
nodding your head,
agree.
I mean.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that entire thing. I feel like that third act was, it's like Wonka Vision. They broke apart, like if the entire DC universe is a chocolate bar, they broke apart that entire thing, threw it in the air, and then they pulled things down into the ground for the third act. And like, all right, here, we shoved it in.
Borla know exactly what
we
you're
just
talking
pulled it
about.
out of
That's
the sky,
pretty
and
brilliant.
here it goes.
So, one joke that I want to put in here, Lois trying to get out, and it furthers the plot along, so that's why I'm putting it in here. Lois decides that she needs to go out to where Batman and Superman are fighting to somehow stop them. She's talking to the head editor or CEO of the Daily Planet, and she's like, I need a shot.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's like, what story you're doing? And she's like, it's not for a story.
He's like,
go for it.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
Okay, we're
you
just
need
giving
to
up
use
on
our
principles.
company resources. Give this girl a chopper.
Yeah. Stupid.
Okay, and there's no reason for her to be there. And when she gets there, after
the fight was already over.
The fight was already over. It's like, why you say that name?
Why you say that name? All right,
And
yeah, that leads me into my next point here.
I was just gonna say really quick. She's like,
Yeah.
He was about to say it, and she's like, no.
Mom. That leads me into my next point. The fight between them is kind of cool. It wasn't as good as I would have wanted, but it was still cool. But the fact of the matter is, why did the name Martha stop it? Now, then the question I want to bring up more so than that is, what if Superman just said, save my mom? That would have been just as powerful, and it wouldn't have been so weird for Superman to call his mom by her first name.
Tell you what, my man.
What?
I guess the world would have ended.
I don't know. What do you think, Brett? Do you think it would have been better with Mom or Martha?
I think it would have been better with Mom. Zack Snyder chose Martha.
Hey, if you were like getting beaten to a pulp and like, dude, last request, like, yo, I gotta call Martha. I'd rather say I gotta call my mom.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, I just think that whole scene would have made more sense if he just said Mom.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Wayne has both of his parents killed. But the weird connection that they're trying to do with Martha didn't really work for me. It would have worked better if it was just Mom.
I mean, yeah, they are like Deus Ex Machina, whatever that term is. They're to a lot of situations that they have to make it super perfect. But that didn't piss me off.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's an outside force coming in to save the day. But
there we go. Yeah, and it was forced though.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that did piss me off was what's her face? Lois Lane.
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, my girl. So she came up. She didn't stop the fight. She said, "Hey, it's his mom's name." It's like, well, Superman could have said that. Anyway.
Yeah, but we all know the reason why she was out there.
Yeah. The reason was so when they leave, she throws a spear in the well, and all of a sudden,
for no reason, really.
Yeah.
She just kind of does it.
All of a sudden, when Batman, this thing frustrated me the most. Batman is flying around after
Doomsday
Superman,
gets revealed.
Doomsday and Superman were nuked.
Right.
Doomsday is like super strong. He's like, oh, he can only be killed by Kryptonian weapons. I'm
Right.
like, well, yeah, Batman, that's totally obvious. I mean, and then the next shot you see is Lois Lane running from Gotham, turning back to get the spear. How did she know that, first of all? And then Superman comes back, and he's like, hey, did you get the spear? There was a lot of transition just for the audience.
I think the biggest thing is Lois Lane's character has no logic whatsoever.
Yeah, all right, you know what? Yeah, sorry, guys.
She is a
sorry
plot
to focus
device.
on that so much.
She is a plot device, and that's it. She's only being used to further the plot along. And I'm sorry to say this for you, Amy Adams. I'd like to have you on our show because I really do think you're a good actress.
Yeah.
But the same rate is always certain. I don't know where I'm going with that. At the same rate, you were only used for a plot device for this movie.
Seriously.
And your whole logic sucked.
Yeah, you
that's not your
threw
fault.
the spear in the water. You, without anybody even talking to you since you threw the spear to the water, you went back to get the spear. You almost drowned for no reason. If she wasn't there to begin with, they could have just retrieved the spear, and there would have been no slight drama. The movie would have been the exact same. It's
Real quick,
unfortunate.
Deej, let me get in here. We're down to our last minute of the Power Hour. We're going to run over. Are you guys new to this show? We always run over.
Fortunately.
We got lots to talk about. This movie was 2.5 hours, so give us a little bit of a break. Yeah. But we got lots to talk about. We're going to run a little bit over, and I just wanted to let you guys know. Anyways, Deus Ex
Deus Ex Wonder
my
Woman.
bad. Deus Ex Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman Machina.
Are you drinking over there?
Wonder
drinking
Woman
over
comes
here.
in
Yeah.
during the fight sequence with Batman and Superman fighting Doomsday. Wonder Woman comes out of nowhere and she's like, hey, I'm going to help. Now, as much as she's the like saving force in this battle to make sure no one dies, her part was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
She was so good, and honestly, I was so worn by all the shoehorn
chills on my neck.
Yeah,
from how good that was.
I was okay with how shoehorned she was, just based on how.
What did you think, Brett?
Me.
I think she's the only character that carried a presence in that entire movie. When she arrived, it was like, whoa, someone.
Oh, I didn't even ask you. What did you think of Ben Affleck's Batman? Because I liked him a lot.
You know, I like Ben Affleck. I think he was. I like Christian Bale a lot. I think he pulled off a very well done older Batman, but I think he needs to get off the sticks of trying to direct himself.
Dude, that's impressive. I'm a Kevin Conroy Batman, in case you can't tell by my
Conroy
poster.
right there. That's the main Batman.
Yeah, but that's funny because I didn't like Affleck before it. Now I'm like, he bruised my chin with his balls. I love him so much.
You can tell he's doing like a method acting approach to Batman, which is actually making it much more believable.
All right.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to bring up about this final act, the very last thing, We're done with the Doomsday fight.
Yeah, okay.
Doomsday fight happened.
Can I ask one question about Doomsday?
course.
Sure, go
Did
for
he
it.
remind you of Abomination from the Incredible Hulk movie?
Okay, that's funny because when DJ and I were watching this movie, I kept getting Abomination and Doomsday mixed up. I kept saying Abomination. The Abomination comes here in this point. No, it's Doomsday.
When you're getting, oh shit, no, I said I wasn't gonna say that in the show.
Nice.
Yeah, I confused them so much.
Yeah,
when
no,
I was watching that
I
movie, yeah.
did, and I think it's totally understandable. They basically play the same person, or same character. Final scenes, though, we're getting into it now. Whatever, I don't really care that much. They do the burial of Superman, and then you see the little dirt rise up. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, the one question I have about this whole final 10 minutes of the movie, whatever, was it worth it to have the dirt rise up? Because in my opinion, it made it worse.
It did. Because honestly,
Why not just leave him dead? Why not just kind of like, he's dead. That's it. We all know Superman's coming back. If you're announcing a Justice League movie, he's coming back.
he is coming. Yeah, that's a huge point. But honestly, with how aggressively DC's approaching it, it is apparent. I mean, we look in the back end. We don't just look at the trailers, where it's like, wow, DC is definitely trying to compete with Marvel. Marvel does not kill off their main characters, and DC, I'm like, dude, they're f***ing heroes. Like they're not gonna die. I was so shocked that he died.
Yeah.
And then the gravel came up. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I just left.
I will 100% agree because I think when you grow older, DC has become much more adult. When you read these stories, people die, they're expendable. And
Matt,
you
100%.
You wait for that in watching these movies, and then when they tease that little thing at the end, you're like, it was better a minute ago.
Yeah, yeah. It wrapped it up too quick. Like I would have, it would have killed me, I guess, sort of. But if I only knew that he survived when I watched that Justice League movie, dude, could you imagine?
Well, and it would have made for a better reveal if he was. Even if you believed that Superman was not going to be in the Justice League, which is absurd. If you were under the impression that Superman was not going to be in the Justice League at all, having him fucking show up there in the movie, that would have been so much better, other than just kind of like leaving this weird presence of, I guess, Superman's still alive.
Yeah, he's
Well,
fine.
and I know how pissed off I am when I see like a match when it's like a draw. And this movie was called Batman versus Superman. So I want an outcome. I want someone to win out of this entire thing, and that
didn't happen.
It's frustrating.
Right. Well, I'm definitely under the opinion that they shouldn't have even included Doomsday in it. It should have just been a battle between them two, and then them incarcerating Lex Luthor or whatever. But of course, we need our Skybeam in all of these movies.
Oh yeah.
And Skybeams come in many forms, guys. I don't know if you know this, but they come in many forms. In the form of Doomsday. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into overall review, shall we?
Yeah.
Or overall opinions. Give it to me first.
Really quick, if you guys if we're missing something in this movie, we are gonna wrap this up. I am gonna touch on a couple more points. If you guys do want to get if you even want to like even message us, we do want like talking about movies and our opinions. If we miss something that you want to talk about, let us know in the comments or even a message.
We'll respond back.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's great. We're here to have a great time. But overall reviews, honestly, I want to touch on the the reveal of the Inhumans first. So
The metahumans.
The metahumans.
Inhumans is Marvel property.
Oh shit, my bad. Sorry guys. But I covered my logo. So as a graphic designer, it takes a lot of study to create logos. I don't know why the fuck that he thinks it's that easy to just say, "Oh, this is a strong woman." I'll put a W on top of a W. No one knows what that means.
He effectively named them too.
It's
in that whole reveal. He named them. He gave them names already.
It's pretty ridiculous. And my biggest issue is, I mean, yes, Aquaman does look like he's holding his breath underwater. Yes, the Flash does kind of give a smirk after he saves the dude.
Yeah.
Looks at the camera a little bit. But, I mean, when you're conducting a study on an android, This is the cyborg one. And something happens. Is the first thing
You
do,
don't stop the filming.
oh shit! Stop the camera.
No, you leave the filming going for sure.
Yeah,
Any real scientist knows that.
There was a lot of points on that scene where Gal Gadot was just scrolling through the message.
Oh
as if
yeah, and it was
an
this weird
instant
chat
messenger
thing, even though it was an email.
Oh, that's just the body of the message.
Yeah.
It's like we all have email. We know that works. There was just so much sloppy
Execution.
so much sloppy execution in that scene. For me, kind of epitomized what the movie was. I mean, I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but it's just like you are trying to force a lot of stuff on me, and that does make me take me away from it, but it does offend me a little bit, and that's what comes into my final review. Again, with my poster, I have I really loved the Justice League animated series, the Batman animated series, which is probably one of the best cartoon comic book adaptations. And I told you, I love Conroy. I loved whoever the Superman was. But I didn't want to give this movie any credit because I knew they were going to do well. And when I was watching it, I knew what they messed up on. But at the same time, they did oppress me with a little bit of things like Ben Affleck.
He was good. He was really good.
He was really good. He surprised me. I didn't like him. I want to hear what the ears thing is, but
yeah, I'll get into that a little later.
This franchise, when you think of superheroes before Iron Man came out, before the MCU kicked off, who did you guys think of? Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. Those are the only heroes that people would know who didn't read comics.
And Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron Man had a prevalent animated series.
Well, I guess. I never really got into him.
Yeah.
But, regardless.
He was a B-list superhero, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he still had some presence.
Regardless, on it, I kind
of... He was
of...
a B+. plus.
I kind of feel like the fact that... was it Warner Brothers Studios?
For what?
Yes.
Yes.
The fact that they wanted to catch up to Marvel, it was just so rushed. Iron Man and the Avengers, it's like, what do we have to lose? We're gonna make some great movies and we're gonna make universe if we're successful. They took some of the most sacred characters, Batman and Superman, and they wanted to rush it. I thought that was really unfair, and that's what kind of got me. At the same time, I was offended. I was also impressed, thanks to Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck. So my final impressions are, I was impressed and outrageously disappointed. So I'll give my rating after you.
All right, so my final overall review of this movie, the first thing I want to say is I really don't understand what so much hatred was on. We shat on this movie a lot. Yeah, and that's just plot holes. Those are only plot holes that we're getting into. Visuals, the special effects, the action sequences, they were all on point. They kept me involved. That was the thing that kept me involved in this movie.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, Ben Affleck's performance was amazing. Lois Lane, whatever. I think it was poor writing for her, really.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, in my trivia notes, it really didn't do much. As far as acting is concerned. But I still feel like it was an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
In the very minimal requirement, it was entertaining. And like I said, interpretation of Batman I thought was really well. And like I've said before, it was a on the fence of who I actually think is better. What's his name? Oh God,
Kevin Conroy or Ben Affleck?
No, Ben Affleck and
Henry Cavill.
No, the
Superman.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Gosh,
thank you.
darn.
Jeez, you were terrible.
I thought you were trying to do an opposite of him.
No, I'm on the fence of whether or not who I think is the better performance, because I really think this interpretation of Batman was really well done. Character motivations are missing for a big portion of this movie, and so much is assumed with characters' actions that you're just kind of left like, all right, well, I guess it kind of works because I can connect the dots at these points, but you're making a lot of assumptions at that point. Story was okay. Lots of lost logic toward the end of the movie. You can poke a hole in a lot of the plots. There's also several moments of you just as a viewer feeling like you missed something, which I thought was really bad. But overall, in the end, there's great action sequences, and it is mildly entertaining. And you know what? I just don't think it was as bad as everybody was saying it was.
Yeah.
So give me your overall rating. Go.
Well,
Go.
Zack Snyder, when I watched this, is not reflecting any of his recent issues. I didn't give him the blame. Honestly, I felt like he got bad material because it was super rushed. Kind of like Ewan McGregor and Ian McDermott through the Star Wars prequels. Yes, there we go, guys. That was my Star Wars reference. I'm going to give this...
Here's another reference. Murph.
I need 4 beers.
Why did you say that name?
Am I too soon? I need 4 beers to make me think this is a super great movie. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
I gave the same exact rating. 4 beers that I need to drink for this movie. 6 out of 10.
We don't talk.
I
about
thought
it
it was
before.
slightly better. Okay, then okay. We shat on the movie a lot, but at the same rate, it still felt entertaining while I was going in it. To be honest, like I think some of the entertainment factor comes into just trying to connect the pieces for the terrible plot, but it's definitely worth a watch. And it has a very small amount of replay value to it. And
there's a couple
even though
scenes.
it's really dark, and I don't give a shit about people who are like, oh, this movie's too dark. It's not what I want from, whatever. Go fuck yourselves, all right?
Yeah.
Not all stories have to be happy-go-lucky, There's some real thoughts that are going on in this movie about man versus gods. And I think it was...
You liked it.
I liked
that
it.
part.
I liked it. But there's so many plot holes, and the biggest thing I cannot get over is the character logic.
Yeah.
I'm a logical guy. There are problems in people's logic. And just falls short of being that good rating.
Yeah. And honestly, you do like to think, you like to be convinced of motives and stuff, but you're not just a prude saying, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like, this movie did, with the exception of like Batman, where like you destroyed my city. It's like, you know what, yeah.
Brett, give me your rating. Go.
I will give it a 3 out of 10.
Oh,
3 out of 10.
nice.
Wow.
It takes me 7 beers to get it. It reminded me of like a Neapolitan ice cream bar. I like chocolate. I like vanilla. I like strawberry, but I don't like them all mashed up. It only makes me like 10% of the entire thing.
If you want some more of this, check out his podcast. God damn.
All right, let's get into it. We got limited time. We're over by 14 minutes right now.
Goodness.
Trivia. Let's go. We got only a couple points. Box
right,
office
man.
Trivia. Production budget, I already told you, is $250 million.
Criminy.
Domestically, how much did it make?
Overall?
No, domestically.
I mean,
The
like
USA.
to date.
Yeah, to date.
800 million.
No, what? No, you're way off.
Jesus Christ.
330 million
Jesus.
domestically. I don't know where you got. It was only in theaters for the 3 months that it was in.
Well, Batman's a cool guy.
Worldwide, let's go ahead. Your estimate of the domestic is closer to the worldwide total.
700 million.
$873 million.
Son of a bitch.
Making so that is included with the 330 million domestically. Foreign markets makes about 640 million. It is rumored that Ben Affleck gained an additional 20 pounds and reached 8% body fat. That is impressive. And
His
he was
workout
ripped.
scene was very impressive.
He was ripped as shit.
Yeah. He had like some big chains and like a tire doing pull-ups. I could barely do 3.
Dude, your girlfriend calls him the fat man, but I'm like, dude, that dude is...
He's a thick Batman. I'd call him Fat Man too. He has some tiny
but it's
ears.
it's not even thick. I mean, he's thick, but he's ripped.
Dude, I'm as tall as his torso
All right,
diameter.
here you go. Here's what you're looking for. The Batsuit is inspired by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns comic.
Yeah.
which is also a lot of the inspiration of the iteration of Batman in this movie. Now, in the comic, and I looked this up for you because I know you hated the stubby ears.
Thank you, dude.
Well, in that comic, he's got the stubby ears.
Yeah, I know.
And it's considered one of the best Batman comics of all time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's because the dialogue and the action. It's because Frank Miller did Sin City. He probably like based it off of Marv.
This was back in the 80s, bro.
I know, but I mean, Frank Miller can make Marv super awesome. I mean, he's a stubby dude too.
I'm just saying, you're putting way too much weight on the costume.
The Batman animated series has some very tall ears, and I loved it.
That is the only thing you're going based off of.
Hang on. Justice League had even taller ears, and they were great.
All right, go watch the. There's actually an animated movie of the Batman Returns, or the Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, and there's also the comic. Go look at it. He's got the short, stubby ears. He's a thick dude.
I'll take it.
In that movie, he's a thick dude.
Right. Showed Batman, here I come.
The other point that we talked about already that I want to bring up is the cameraman that was killed off in the beginning was Jimmy Olsen. Only mentioned in the Ultimate Cuts,
yeah.
And then Superman, we were talking about this at one point. Superman, Clark Kent, Henry Cavill only had approximately 42 lines in the whole script. We were talking about it, and I was like, this dude really didn't say much.
That's twice as much as I thought. You know, I got a question for you, my man. How are those 8 beers? 7 beers.
They're hitting me pretty hard. That's why we're over by 20 minutes right now.
Goodness gracious. And yeah.
So
I'm so glad you took them.
That's our review of BVS. I gave it a 6 out of 10. DJ also gave it a 6 out of 10, which is 6 beers.
Yeah.
No, 4 beers.
Let us know how many beers it would take
I've
you
drank
to
too many
enjoy
beers
this movie.
tonight. 4 beers to drink this movie. I thought it still had some entertaining replay value, even though the plot holes are so easily poked in. It was almost self-aware at that point. You thought similarly the same. Our guest engineer, Brett, who we're not going to feature right now, gave it a 3 out of 10 or 7 beers, which means he's hammered when he's watching this movie.
Goodness gracious.
I like that movie.
Snyder fanboy over there.
All right, we're going to take this last shot. Let's go ahead, Deej.
You're my man.
Boom. There we go. So that way we can prove to you guys that we drank all of it.
It's one hundo. I got to be hammered just to watch this.
All right. Madman 100 is coming in. He's being a dick right now, but he's coming in. He's going to provide the second pee break rap and get into. He's going to be talking a little bit about what we're talking about, but probably going to be mostly putting in things that he himself is coming up with.
Things that I
like.
like.
With a diss track right now too.
Yes, I'd like to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Fuck you, DJ. I got the shirt on.
Yeah, you do.
Madman 100. It's a great shirt. Thank you.
No, thank you. My man.
No, thank you. Now go pee.
All right, let's
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
be quiet so I can
the
hear
pee
you.
break rap starts right now.
What's going on, everyone? It's one hundo. I'm back. Let's start this thing over. Come on now. We're not amateurs here. They're running like little schoolgirls. All right, we're gonna take it from the top. Here we go. DCEU sounds like it should be cool, but all these cast of characters are all fools. Madman 100, he always rules. Hell yeah, I'm drinking hella brews with my new friend Brett. Yeah, whom I just met. And I'm drinking Colors Light. Yeah, because I lost a bet. Shouts out to Mobanga for this beat, bringing this fire. Yeah, we're cooking meat, eating so much food, need to take a seat. DJ's shirt is hella fleek. 100. Yeah, this is the pee break rap with your best friend. Yeah, I'm the boy Matt. I used to be fat though, but now I'm with your mom though. Yeah, look at this shirt. You DJ, I got dirt. Wheel 2 jerk. I'm home. What did I just say? Here we go. Bring it back. Wheelchair dude, DJ that's messed up. Gotta go PC here. Up. Who's better, Batman or Superman? I don't know. Just look up. Do you like a man with a cape? Or maybe a toupee? Sure, I like a man in a wetsuit. The love I got for Baby Groot. His suit really seals in the flavor. Shouts out to the girl going down on him later. Yeah, you know that. Cause baby Matt, yeah, I'm back. Now I'm gonna give it to my boy Brett. Cause he's better at the movie stuff. I don't like butt stuff. No, I don't. I like other stuff. You like butt stuff?
All right, so
Was that what you're
I'm
pointing
coming
at
in
yourself
here.
for? Do you like butt
Butts are
stuff?
great.
Do you like butt stuff? Is that what you were saying? Like,
No, I'm
butt
trying to
stuff.
figure out if I can start talking
Oh.
so that way we can stop that awful rap.
Oh, I did a great job. I did a
I
fantastic
think you did a great job, my
All
man.
right, so that was the P-Break rap with the Madman 1 Hundo.
One. Oh shit.
1 Hundo.
Hand
There we go. All right, you guys, you will always see one of Matt Man's raps. He may not be here live in person, but that's a future update to come.
R.I.P.
Anyways, Deej, I've drank 8 beers, or 7 beers. I'm going on my 8th right now.
Yeah, and if you guys seen our last episodes, I want you to know that I ate probably within 30 minutes before the show. I have not eaten in a good while.
I have not eaten since 2 o'clock this afternoon.
I have not eaten since Sunday.
I'm starting to feel at my hosting duties. So, with that being said,
Great that
I'd
we're
like
just
to-
competitors now. Cheers.
I'd like to go ahead and bring in Brett to be our host of the game that we're going to be playing.
I'm
Which
excited
I just
for
wanna
this
let
one.
you guys know that Brett is choosing our game for us. So, Brett, go ahead and take it from here.
All right.
Like this guy.
So it was a coin toss between the two, but I had to go with the debate club.
Woo!
Yep, debate club.
This
All right,
is,
guys. First
be
round.
great.
This is the most sloppy round.
Yeah.
So I'm going to present the question. You guys debate it. I want
Sounds
opening
good.
statements first, though. All right.
All right.
And we have to say our name to who chooses what or whatever first, just so who gets the opening statements first, right?
Yeah.
Well, we just got to shout out what our answer is going to be, right?
Yeah. I would say shout out the answers. Whoever goes first gets that side.
There we go.
Boom. All right. Question is: the new fab in Hollywood seems to be remaking or rebooting movies. Ghostbusters, Alien, It, The Mummy. Rumor has it that remakes of some classics are soon on the way. Scarface, Godfather,
No.
things like that. Should Hollywood continue with this trend and modernize these classics, or should they leave them the way that they are?
First of all, that we're drinking, but
Man, that's a really good question. I'll give it up. That is a really good question. I can come up with points for both. I waited for a second just to see what you were going to come up with. If you just had a gut feeling that you wanted to go with.
yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, my friends. They should.
Are you waiting on me to answer?
No, well, I
or
mean,
you want them?
You have to argue to know.
Opening
Okay,
statements,
so
gents.
you're saying
I'm
sorry, I missed that. So you're going with that.
I think they should reboot.
Keep rebooting.
Classics.
DJ is approaching the bench first.
This is slightly loose, because I'm not gonna say they should reboot Forrest Gump. That's not.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, keep rebooting, like, famed classics and stuff like that.
famed
right?
classics where either actors are dead or the way they're shot is borderline obsolete, or at least like new approaches to it. And
Okay, do you want to start your opening statement now, or?
I do, but I want you guys to look at me in the eyeballs right
Sir,
now.
are you a defendant or a plaintiff on this one?
Hold on, what did I agree
He's
to?
not used to. I think the past few times I've always gone first.
Yeah, but the past like 1,000 times I won. Anyway, that's
I've won every time we've done this.
I don't
This
even
might
know
be the
what you're
third on
talking
the
about.
octagon
Brett,
match.
I
Die
wanna let
Hard.
you know I won every time we played this game.
Die Hard. I don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, I would say
He tried to.
we're talking about the trend of remaking movies.
Right.
Trend
Should,
of,
So
should
I've
it
gone
and
either-
shouldn't it be?
Yeah.
yeah, and you said
Keep
yes.
it going, or should we stop it right
Why are
now?
we confused? You already know this.
I think it should. Okay. So the reason I think it should be because there are plenty of dramas. There are plenty of horror movies. There are plenty of action movies. There are plenty of suspense movies. There are plenty of a shitload of classics that we've experienced that are, if we're watching it right now, even if it's a remastered Blu-ray, they're remastered whatever, it's still gonna be slightly grainy. The set, the acting is gonna be more old, and like The old time acting, it did seem a little bit more like stage actors, like theater actors trying to go into the big screen. Right now, that acting has kind of formed in, like, shit, how can I say this? Things have been evolving. Damn,
Nice.
you guys know I've been drinking.
I drink more than you.
I'm trying to say that special effects accompanying action movies and horror movies and the evolution of actors going towards suspense and dramas is extremely increased. My biggest thing is
Losing the audience right now.
yeah, my biggest thing is that teenagers nowadays will not accept anything under 4K, super Blu-ray, special effects sort of shit. We need to get these classics back into the modern world.
So it sounds like DJ is taking defense approach on this one.
Goodness gracious.
He wants these ones to keep being remade because there is a comparison value to it. Sounds like.
Thanks, man.
CJ, want to take it away?
Yeah, take it away, my man.
All right. I'm still laughing at yours.
I'll laugh
Okay.
at yours too.
So I'm taking the position of they shouldn't keep going. And I think it's for good reason. We've already seen two movies released this year, that being Chips and the other movie is escaping my mind. But or Baywatch. We're already seeing Chips and Baywatch coming out. These are remakes of classic TV shows, and it's not working. The early reviews for Baywatch are terrible, and Chips was terrible. The only movie that they've really been able to successfully do it for is 21 Jump Street, which I will give it to my opponent here.
Phenomenal
Was a
movie.
really good movie. I totally agree with that 100%. But there are lots of other remakes that have come out, and it just doesn't feel like it's capturing the same notes. And sometimes the advance in technology and CGI and everything like that has actually hurt a lot of movies from being able to be reproduced and everything like that. And I think the magic of these 80s and 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s movies that have been coming out is because it was a product of the times, not only for that, but the movies just fit well. I want to continue seeing more creative stories. I want to see more original stories, because original stories are what movies are really all about. Why do I want to keep seeing the same thing rehashed a million times? It just doesn't work for me. And I mean, you can give whatever examples that you want for the fact that the movie that comes out, or an adaptation or reimagining of a television show or an old movie, was okay or good. It just doesn't capture the same magic that the movie came out originally or the TV show came out originally.
So opening statements are done. It looks like
I think that was an
we have-
even round.
Yeah, we have a clear division on where people stand. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go into the juice of this thing right now.
Juiciness.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
juiciness of this thing, guys. This is the free for all portion.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
So- You know what, my
Arguments
man?
begin.
And you were ready to go.
Hey, arguments begin. Yeah, go back and forth. We
Let's
got 10
go.
minutes though.
You know
I'm
what,
gonna
my
hold
man?
this to a firm 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes. All right. You know what, my man? I said it 3 times. I feel like video games would not make great movies. I feel like books do not make great movies. What you compared for the main part is TV shows being compared to movies, or being transitioned to movies. Baywatch and Chips. No, that's not a comparison. When I'm talking about movies that are going to be recreated, I'm talking about The Godfather. I'm talking about Jurassic Park. We have been in a period about 5 or 10 years ago where they biffed it. I'm not talking about Back to the Future. I'm saying, you're about to say something?
No, I'm waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt. We have this problem. If you guys have seen our show before, where we just sort of interrupt each other, I kind of want to let DJ talk, and then I will tell him how wrong he is.
Well, we have these monster movies like The Mummy and we have these action movies like Mission Impossible. You're not going to necessarily recreate them, but you're going to refresh them. You have the technology, you have the camera shit, like angles, camera technology to beef them up. We have learned from our experiences in the past, just like we have with sequels. Sequels used to blow. Now, I don't know if you heard, Marvel's been making a ton of sequels, and they've been blowing each other out of the water. And the remakes are going to be doing it too. I don't know if you knew this, guys. Spider-Man was a movie, and so is Captain America and Thor. They are amazing now. They're recreated, they're reprised with the technology, with the acting, with the correct directing. People who know the source material, taking a hold of all of, you know, directing it, writing it. They know the right direction. I kind of feel like, I absolutely feel like people who know the source material, like Indiana Jones, like The Godfather.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you here because you've been talking for a while, and I know your strategy that you're going with now.
What's the strategy? Tell me the strategy, my man.
Just to keep talking because you're taking advantage of the fact that I wanted to let you finish your sentence while you're going through your argument.
That's a strategy.
That's
a
bold strategy.
I just wanted to say I cannot believe, and it's an absolute atrocity that you would actually say that The Godfather needs to get remade because
I know your strategy because I did not say it needed to get remade.
That's what you that was part of your argument was like
I mentioned
movies like Scarface, Godfather, and these other ones need to get remade.
You know, Scarface was remade.
Hasn't been remade yet.
It has been
They're talking
remade.
about it being remade.
Scarface was actually
is a remake.
Scarface was originally a 1920s movie, I believe.
Just letting you know.
Cagney, I believe, was in it. But
it's a good point.
It
and I'll give that to you. But I'm really surprised you're able to pull that one out. But Godfather, there is no way. Godfather and Godfather Part 2 are considered one of the best movies to ever be made. And there is no way that you can actually say that needs to be remade. Along with movies such as Gone with the Wind. Does that need to be remade? We're talking about the Stagecoach. Does that need to get remade?
I don't know what Stagecoach is, but Gone with the Wind is a 6.5-hour movie that no one really cares to see. I feel like they can really compress the story.
Oh my God, it's one of the best movies that's ever been made. You should probably open up your mind to the fact that classics can really be good. And, you know, I don't really buy into this whole bullshit about the teenage era needing to be everything, you know, 4K, whatever. You know, part of the magic that comes with movies is transporting yourself into a new world. Now, not every world just has to be the way it is that you're already experiencing it. You got to go into this new world. And honestly, like you're talking about monster movies and everything like that. The Bride of Frankenstein is considered one of the best sequels of all time.
I've never seen it. It's not 4K. It's not Blu-ray.
There's no way that you can use that as an actual defense.
Oh, dude, I'm a millennial.
Again, some good movies that have come out since the, you know, maybe 80s. They keep talking about remaking all of these movies, like one of my favorite movies, Big Trouble in Little China, that they've been talking about remaking. I just feel like when we come down to it all, movies are a new form of storytelling. Back in prehistoric times, we used stories to be able to tell these grand adventures of our heroes and heroines of old. And when it comes to movies nowadays, we need to be able to incorporate new stories because who wants to just keep hearing the same story all the time?
I do agree that there should be original stories, but I also agree that these old stories should be cherished. I don't want to see Gone with the Wind
exactly. They
anytime
should be
soon.
They should be cherished, and they should be left with what time period that they were made in, because that's what made them special. In addition to the great filmmaking that was done at the time.
I could tell you what, I have no interest in seeing any movies that were made before 1980, 1970.
That's an absolute travesty, my friend.
Oh man, but honestly,
there are some really great movies that have come out before that time.
As an artist and a marketer, I understand that you feel that things should be untouched. But in terms of the market, bringing the name to light for people to really understand, like Pocahontas, like all of these really classic fucking old stories that need to be brought back into the limelight for people to understand. Dude, Star Wars and Harry Potter are going to be remade in 50 to 60 years.
I got a question for you. As an artist.
No one's going to ignore those. Sorry.
I got a question for you as an artist. How would you feel about your masterpiece, which was considered a masterpiece at the time, like this poster that you made for us? It is a masterpiece.
Hey.
Oh, jeez.
That goes off record.
But any kind of
Officially off the
original
record.
artwork that you make and any kind of, original thoughts, like, how everything is done and production of it, right? How would you feel if that just got ripped apart and they're going to try to make it better? How would you feel if somebody was like, you know what, your shit's really not that good. I should probably come in and edit all of that and make it my own interpretation of this because you didn't do it right the first time.
I wouldn't call it do it right the first time. I would call it a snake or a reptile shedding its skin to bring forth themselves into the new light, into the new market. I kind of feel like that is going to be able to give generations upon generations knowledge of this old movie. Could you imagine Scarface and Gone with the Wind being known, that story, in the year 3000? How is that going to be known?
But I think stories transcend time. It's not necessarily like it is only stuck at that time. We still talk about Odysseus with the Odyssey, and that we're talking thousands of years before.
Is Odysseus
our
the
time.
one that slept with his mom? Or is that's Oedipus? Sorry, go, say Odysseus again.
No, I'm just saying we're talking about the story of Odysseus in the Odyssey. And we're talking about that thousands of years since it actually happened. And people are like, I can provide my own interpretation or whatever, but the original story and the original reason why people got involved in it was so great. And you can, and like I've been saying, movies are our interpretation of story. And the way that we get all these stories about the heroes and heroines and bad individuals and, even more than that, just of like stories of love and stories of life and everything like that. Why should we be fucking with all of that interpretation and why can't people just come up with more original shit? Like you shouldn't. It really shows a lack of creativity if you're having to reimagine someone else's.
It shows a lack of creativity, but I want you to think of this as baseball cards. If we have only had a Babe Ruth card and never creative again, yeah, it would be vintage. But you know what? In a couple of years, that cardboard card is going to deteriorate. Why not have a re-release? Even if they remake a movie and it's line per line, script per script, it's introducing the story, the magic to a new audience, and it's going to give life to a classic franchise. I feel like it is an absolute necessity.
I have a real quick point about the Babe Ruth card thing. Okay, so
I don't like baseball, so bring it on.
No, that's not the point. We're talking about the cards. You thought I was going into baseball. I don't give a shit about that. All right, we're talking about baseball cards and how, people are going to forget that these cards exist and they'll disintegrate, and you got to re-release things to make sure that people are reminded of it. But you know what? How much value does that original card have at that point? The original value of that card is exponentially higher. And that is the same with movies. With movies, if you're taking a movie that was originally made back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, that movie's going to be held in a higher regard regardless of what kind of remake is made. And the value is exponential.
Exponential.
Gents, we are wrapping up on this debate right now. We have a minute and a half before
I
closing
have a really
arguments.
quick wrap up, and then you could take it on, Casey.
This is not our closing statement.
Yeah, there's a minute and a half left for this debate, and then we've got closing arguments. Prepping you for it.
Well, shit, dude, I already relaxed my muscles, and I don't know if the alcohol is going to make me clench back up. But I want the record to show Casey did not know that Scarface was a remake. Would you have known of that original story if Al Pacino did not star in that movie? Answer me that.
Point taken.
Okay, I'm just gonna be weird in the fact that I research everything before I actually watch it. So I would have figured it out. Well, actually, you know what? I don't remember it. You're right. Go ahead.
That was my closing statement. That was it. I mean,
would you like to approach the bench one more time for that closing statement?
Stories need to be retold, relived. That's how Catholicism was, man. I'm not going to go into that. Jesus and shit. It was some retold stories, reprised magic. You know what? I think the alcohol got me into a real big loop over there. What I'm trying to say is Scarface was an extremely good movie, and it may or may not be remade, but people didn't know about it until they saw it. They didn't know it was originally a movie in the 1920s, 1940s, something like that. One of the 19s.
You don't even know.
Well, yeah, I didn't watch it.
1932.
I love the character. I didn't know it was a character before that because it was remade for my time. I don't want to watch a black and white movie. People like classics. A lot of people don't. So,
oh my God, that is the worst excuse I've ever heard. You don't want to watch a black and white movie? We're about to watch Logan in black and white.
Oh, that's pretty great. But honestly, we love movies. As a marketer, when it comes to stories needing to be told, no, it's all right. When it's stories that needed to be told for the mass public, stories need to be refreshed and put into generation upon generations. Gosh damn it, dude. I actually really like this stance. I want to talk about this later, but I'm kind of done. Tell me what you think. This is a great drinking conversation. I honestly love the fact that things can be relived, reimagined, not really reimagined, not recreated, but it's like I want my kids to be able to know the magic I saw when I first saw in Toy Story or some shit like that, What if we're dads, Casey? Come on, think about it.
All right, so
love and passion, generations and family.
Are we calling that his closing statement?
Oh, I thought I called it before I even did the closing statement. I'm done.
He's walking away now, but he's still throwing it up.
I'm walking away. I just want to reminish with you, Casey. I really wish my family knew my childhood. That's why I want remakes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm done. Turn my mic off.
All right. I just want to say stories transcend time. There's no reason why there needs to be any reimagining, retelling, or anything. Stories transcend time, like I was just talking about with Odysseus and the story of the Odyssey. That story has not changed whatsoever, and we're talking about books right now. Movies have the same kind of appeal. The Godfather, I would never hope to be reimagined or retold. That was a perfect movie the way it was, and I will kill someone if they decide to do it. Not literally, but figuratively. The same rate, man, I lost a lot of my, during your whole rant, I lost a lot of my.
Sorry, dude, it's about passion.
The fact of the matter is that there's a lot of magic that can still be captured with old movies. And I hate this whole sentiment of needing to watch movies that are reimagining, retold because it doesn't relate as well to the current generation. All movies relate to the current generation. And, your black and white whole thing is complete bullshit. Like I said, we were going to be watching Logan in black and white. That the black and white thing has nothing to do with anything. That's just, you're being transported. The whole point of these stories and movies and storytelling in general is you are transported into these worlds that you couldn't be a part of. And that's what makes them so special. So why keep doing all these extra things for it?
Guys, I think arguments have been heard. I'm going to take a quick...
I have one more thing.
I'm going to take a quick pee break. No, I'm just kidding. No. I was telling the points, though, legitimately, these guys that do on these sports shows where you get the, good point taken,
right,
things like that. Very even, I will tell you right now.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, there were...
I usually really crush Casey.
There were 2 points...
I thought it was really even.
There were 2 points that were made. More than another argument, though.
Mm-hmm.
And... do you guys want the results?
Yeah, go for it. Tell us who won or anything
Wait,
like that.
hang on. I remember I was gonna say something. Can you write down your
Oh,
result
Jesus.
first while I say this?
You just remembered a point that you'd like to bring up after the game.
Not quite. Can you write it down, please?
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Write down who you chose.
Oh yeah. Totally. I will
Before
write
he
it
says
down
it.
right now.
All right, so we're good.
Yeah.
DJ, go ahead and say
You
what
didn't
you're-
write it down.
Oh, you want me to?
Make sure you don't change it.
He knows who he thinks
All
is
right,
the winner.
my man,
Write it
Casey.
down.
Casey. Why the did you have to hit me where it hurts? I would murder anybody who recreated my piece of art, you motherfucker.
I'm just saying, man.
I genuinely, passionately feel that things should be retold, but oh man,
If
It
it was your
should be
own art, you
re-recorded.
shouldn't.
Yeah, untouched. It should be untouched. It should only be remastered. That's the only loophole that I should say. So,
So, Brett, you heard that. He gave up on
no,
his
he
argument.
wrote it.
Guys,
He
I was
gave
in the
up on his
bathroom during
argument.
that argument, so I didn't really add points on that one. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't care who
I'm
wins.
just kidding.
I
That-
did say it during the actual thing, though. So
You guys brought up very, very good points, though. It was a delicate balance trying to figure
If
it out.
it helps, I don't remember what I said. I mean,
I took it all down though. CJ did win with 2 points more.
yes,
Sounds
black
like
and
we're
white.
Sounds like we're not going to be remaking movies anytime soon. If the Power Hour has
So
anything
what-
to do with
Completely
it.
disagree.
real quick before we close out, what were your reasonings behind it?
Me or him?
No,
Yeah.
him.
So
what
my
were your reasonings?
I mean, there were a lot of points. I think the good point that was made was the Odyssey. And Odyssey
know
is
what that
a
is.
story that can be told the same, but it's originally only once done, and that
Right.
carries through. That's been 1,000 years old, things like that. Yeah, I think yeah, at the end of the day, I think that was the one that.
So
kinda,
did my art thing come in because DJ is like an artist now? I was like, how would you feel if?
That's like taking a
DJ
child
made
from
some-
me, you motherfucker.
DJ made some very good points on the art side.
Cool.
I think it's more of just a preservation with classic cinema and comparing that moving forward. Yeah, Casey, you.
This is CJ and DJ's Movie Power Hour. My name is CJ. I'm your host, and we got my co-host with the most, your co-host with the most, DJ.
Yo, my man, I really won in God's eyes.
Wow. We got our guest engineer Brett Neas over in the booth.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Brett, can I go ahead and give or let you take the floor for your plugs, please?
Thanks for having me on, Case. Yeah, really quick, CJ and DJ, thank you for having me on. We are Pop Not Soda. Once again, we release every Monday on iTunes and Podbean. You can find us on via pop_not soda. What we call it's the weekly 6-pack of pop culture, kind of like a non-obnoxious TMZ. So yeah, tune in every Monday. We're gonna have these guys on next Thursday, which is gonna be an awesome thing. It's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, we like to drink too much.
Oh, and find us on Twitter and Instagram, all Facebook, things like that. Pop Not Soda. Sorry about that. I'm bad at that.
Well, I'm super excited to be on their show.
Unfortunately,
Brewhouse-
we'll be sober.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well,
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see about that one.
I heard there was some beer drinking on their show.
I don't drink.
We'll get you to drink.
A little bit. I'm super excited to be on their show, Pop Not Soda. You can check it out on all of the social medias. This is CJ and DJ's Movie Power. We're on Movie Brewhouse Productions. You can check out our YouTube channel, Movie Brewhouse Productions. Also with our Facebook and Instagram. You can check out Twitter at Movie Brewhouse. That's it. Wow, I almost got myself off.
It's a great twit.
That was it. Movie Brewhouse. You can check us out. You can check out all DJ's art on all of our social medias. All of it.
Yeah, shit on
Whatsoever.
it. Compliment. Let me know if you guys want me to design a specific poster. We can probably put that in an episode. What do you guys want to see next?
You took my line. What do you guys want to see next? Please like and subscribe and comment and all that good stuff. Let us know what you think. Please like and subscribe. You want to see more videos like this, and you gotta like and subscribe. That's the only way that's gonna happen. This is CJ and DJ's Movie Power Hour. We're signing off.
Sign off, man.
Let's give it one. No. Give it one. High five.
Guys, we're not really good at high-fiving.
Let's go.
Do it for Martha.
See you guys soon.
Oh, shit.